I've been improving my communication skills for almost 4 years now, and in that time, I've built up a decently social life for myself. And so, through these last 4 years of not just improving my social skills, but also generally being on self improvement, a very common habit and kind of protocol which I've tried doing, which is pretty famous, is the dopamine detox, right? If you don't know what a dopamine detox is, it's basically where you remove all of the kind of modern distractions which boost your dopamine, stuff like scrolling on social media, eating junk food, playing video games, and you end up living this kind of monk level life where there's no distractions, you're just working, you're grinding, and it's like a whole monk mode thing, right? And I've had lots of periods in the last 4 years where I've done the dopamine detox, but recently I've started one with this kind of switched up protocol where I'm doing everything the same. So I'm removing social media, I'm removing video games, all of this. But one crucial thing which I'm leaving, which I'm doing specifically just to boost my social skills as much as possible, is the only kind of dopamine thing that I'm leaving in my schedule is going out and socializing. What I mean by this is my day looks like this. I wake up, I work, work out, kind of go for a walk, do little kind of low dopamine activities, read, maybe take a cold shower, and then in the evening, maybe not every day, but maybe like every other day, I just go out to town. I get a cup of coffee with a friend, maybe I go to the pub, maybe I go to the club. Sometimes I might drink beer, stay up late. It's a bit, degenerate, whatever. But this habit has improved my social skills in the last like 2 weeks that I've been doing it like nothing else. Because just by removing scrolling and not watching any shows and video games and nothing, you end up having a ton of time. And because you end up having a ton of time, you end up just getting just the motivation and to just go out and be social way more often than you would generally. Because usually I would just wait for someone to invite me, and this is probably a pretty kind of common way of thinking. Like you would just generally wait for someone to invite you to go out somewhere, and then when they do invite you, you go out, or maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks, you are the one who organizes stuff. But by living like this, every evening it's like I finish my work, the workout, I finish absolutely everything, and I got like it's like 5 6 p.m. I'm not going to bed until like 10 11. I got like 5 hours to spare, so I just call up whoever I can. Hey bro, let's go get a cup of coffee, let's go for a walk, let's do this, let's do that, let's go for a drive. You're constantly going out with someone, you're doing social things, and just this has helped me not just improve my social skills and kind of build up my confidence a lot more because I've been built up good momentum. It's also just kind of refreshed my social life because there's lots of people who I haven't seen in a few weeks or even a few months who I used to hang out with, who I just don't really hang out with because again, it's like I don't have the time, I forget to invite them, whatever. But now, because I have no distractions, I'm literally just find myself inviting all kinds of different friends, old friends, new friends to go hang out, do things, and it's like my social life is looking more vibrant than it's ever looked before. It really just works towards improving your social life like I feel like nothing else. And even if you could cope and say this takes a lot of money. You need to be rich to be able to, go out every day and stuff. Bro, I'm telling you right now, I'm not rich. Like right now, I'm probably as broke as I'm ever gonna be. A lot of these hangouts, most of these, as I said, I don't really do them every day, like every other day. But even then, it's like they don't I don't spend more than $2 on average on like a hangout because a coffee costs like $2, right? And a lot of the times I don't even spend that much. Like I'll just call up a friend and be like, hey, let's go for a walk. And then we'll go for a walk and maybe we'll see some other people and we'll socialize and we'll speak to them and we'll mess around. And it's just like I'll just go for a walk with a friend for like 2 hours and we'll speak to some strangers and, hang out. Not every time, not every night do you need to go out and spend like $50 at the club or anything, right? Just doing simple things like calling up your neighbor if you're good with your neighbor. Like I'm friends with really close friends with my neighbor. Just call him up, hey yo bro, come over to my house, we can have a cup of coffee. And he just comes over, or he calls me up and I go over to his house, we just drink a cup of coffee, boom, there's like 2 hours gone. And I socialize, right? This is what it's all about. Now, the thing about dopamine detox is that it's kind of a difficult thing to maintain because a lot of the times, especially once like the first day, it's like super motivating, maybe the second day, but by day three, you're already like getting the urge to watch anime or play video games or scroll on social media, and a lot of times you end up failing it. I'm gonna be honest. In these last 2 weeks that I've been doing this, I haven't been perfect. I've had like a couple days where I've scrolled on Instagram and watched some BS YouTube videos. But when I think back on it, still, the time that I spent on social media on those days is still like 5 times shorter than the amount of time that I used to spend on them before the dopamine detox. So even though it wasn't like a perfect day, like I didn't do like a perfect dopamine detox, like no social media, I still spent like 5 times less time on social media than I would have spent had I not been on dopamine detox. And that's kind of the essence, the entire essence of it. But one thing that you can do, which really helps with maintaining this and being consistent, is you can use like social pressure for it. One very good way to do it is to literally just go and tell someone like, I'm gonna be on a dopamine detox. I'm not gonna use any social media. I'm not gonna go on Instagram. I'm not gonna play video games, and you keep me accountable. Now, a lot of people don't have the friends, which it requires. It's really good if you have like a friend who you can just be like, hey, yo, bro, keep me accountable. So if they ever, see you playing video games or being on social media, they'll like call you up. But if you don't have anyone like that, what you can do is you can check out the first link in the description, which will take you to my free community, which is where you can join up and literally just be like, write a post where it's like, I'm on a dopamine detox for the next 7 days. And like every day you just post a picture of like, today, of like your screen time. Like every day you post a picture of your screen time and you show like, this is how much I did, time I spent on Instagram, this is how much time I spent on YouTube, and it's like, if it's like 0.000 minutes for the day, then it's like great. But if it's like, it'll get you the motivation to not spend any time, because you know that if you end up spending like 2 hours on YouTube and on your screen time it's gonna say 2 hours, now you gotta send that into the group chat and everyone's gonna like call you out on it. So that just gives you extra motivation to be on the dopamine detox. Another good part about dopamine detox is because of the fact that you remove most of the distractions, most of the kind of fun dopamine things, you end up having a ton of time in the day, and you get to do like the things which you always kind of wanted to do, but you always kind of procrastinated on them. Like maybe you wanted to, let's say, learn to do a backflip. I don't know, and you've been thinking about it for months or maybe even years, but you know that it's gonna take like 2 days, and you get bored, and it's easier to just scroll. Now that you're on a dopamine detox like this, you can literally just go and do or just train doing the backflip, because you literally got nothing else to do. It's either that or it's to go out and be social. But if it's not the evening yet, which usually is when people go out, you can literally just go and try doing the backflip, or try learning to draw or paint, or do anything that pick up any hobby that you wanted to pick up before, but you could never get it done because you're always just too distracted by your phone. A good thing as well about the dopamine detox, which is also another thing which really got me to start kind of living in this way where I'm going out instead of scrolling, is when you go out and when you socialize, you literally just get more life out of life, if that makes sense. Like when you scroll, you just forget 99% of the stuff that you saw. It's kind of a waste of time. But when you go out with a friend, even if it's just like a cup of coffee and you have a chat and you go home, that's still way more memorable than spending 2 hours watching YouTube videos. You might see someone, you might speak to someone, you might end up going and finding and cold approaching a girl, and that girl might end up being your girlfriend. Like actual canon events will go on to happen in your life by just going out and leaving the house. Events which never would have taken place had you just spent those 2 hours, scrolling on TikTok like you usually would. This is another thing that which really motivated me to kind of adopt this kind of social monk mode, if you want to call it that, right? That's a cool name for it, like social monk mode. So that's this video. I hope motivated you to try this. And if you're not sure about it, literally just do it for like 1 week. Just be like, okay, I'm gonna remove all distractions, no video games, no cheap dopamine, no social media, no anime movies, nothing. And when I'm bored, I'm just gonna go outside and socialize and go for a walk and go for a cup of coffee and go to the club and do whatever and just be social and be around people as much as possible. And you'll notice that your life will just become so much more fun and fulfilling and memorable and great. At least that's how it was for me. Now, again, as I said, if you want to help, get help with kind of maintaining the dopamine detox, you can join the community. First link in the description to kind of get people to help you keep being, accountable, to have people keep you accountable. Another thing is like if you want to hop on a call with me, if you have any problems regarding social skills or maybe even other parts of life, you could hop on a free call with me as well in the community, and I'll try solving any problems that you might have. If you found this video helpful, I think you'll find a lot of value in this video right here. Click on the subscribe button and do the work.